Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne Williams with Back to Earth Creations, and in this video I am using Art and Glow 2-part casting epoxy in conjunction with Uniglow glow-in-the-dark powders. These are some samples that I had purchased online. Links to all the different tools, materials, molds, everything that I'm using will be down in the video description below, so be sure to check that out if you're interested in trying this out for yourself. But let's go ahead and get started. So here I have the resin and hardener, the two different parts for the Art and Glow casting and coating epoxy. They have really convenient instructions there on the bottle. I'm pouring it out by volume into 2 separate cups. Try my best to keep from making messes on the bottles. And I have the cups labeled which one's the hardener and which one's the resin. And then I'm going to be, before mixing anything together, I'm prepping my glow pigment into some smaller, little medicine cups. And I'm just using the end of a popsicle stick to scoop it out. And I'm using a different popsicle stick for each pigment. In hindsight, I should have done this I prefer to add in the pigment into the resin as opposed to the resin into the pigment. But now I'm pouring from the 2 separate cups into 1 cup and doing my best to scrape every little bit out of the cups, just as much as possible, because the viscosity of the resin and of the hardener are quite different. The hardener is much runnier, whereas the resin really clings and sticks onto stuff. So I wanted to just keep those measurements as accurate as possible. And then I mixed for a solid 3 minutes, just scraping the sides and bottom, and then I actually poured into a second cup and mixed and stirred for another minute or so, just trying to make sure I've got it as evenly distributed as possible. And then scraping everything off the little craft stick, I'm going to set it off to the side for about a minute while I prepped up more resin, and not more resin, but prepped my molds for the resin. And now I'm just pouring. It's really about 2 tablespoons, I don't know what that is in ounces, but about 2 tablespoons worth into each little cup. Just straight into the pigment. And if I had had a second pair of hands, I would have poured the resin and then had Randy or my friend Lauren go through and add in the pigments afterwards, just because I feel not as much gets stuck to the bottom, because I had to scrape pretty hard to try to get it all mixed together. Now also, this resin says it has a 40-minute pot time. I have found that about after 25 minutes, it gets very hot in the cup and it starts getting really thick, so it's hard to get the bubbles out of it. And so I'm just mixing in the pigment and getting my head in front of the camera, because it'll be 20 years from now, guys, and I will have a lifetime career of being a YouTube video creator, and I will still be putting my head in front of the camera. So just getting it mixed in evenly. And then I didn't even really bother to let the bubbles come out, because I figured I just wanted to get it into the molds. And so I'm just pouring it on into the mold. I do go through afterwards with some, depending on the project, either a heat gun or a barbecue lighter. Now, I did that for all the colors that we had set up. I would have showed more footage of it, but my head was in the way. And now I've mixed in just a couple of drops of a Scarlet Alcohol Ink into the remaining resin, and you can see it's already getting quite thick. This stuff sets up pretty quick, honestly, which isn't bad. It's just something that I'm really glad I learned, because you don't want to be oh, I've got a 40-minute pot time and rely on using every bit of those 40 minutes. For this one, at least for myself, you might have different results if it's a cooler day or something, but it was about 80 degrees in the house at the time of recording, so I did not have very much pot time. So yeah, 25 minutes, and I want to be done working with it by then. But I do really like this resin. The smell wasn't that bad. It's not as low smell and low vox as the art resin, which so far is still my favorite. But guys, look at that one, the way it came out. Oh my god. Okay, everybody, we are in the shop and we have unmolded the last of our glow resin, or glowing resin, that I am blown away by just how beautiful all of this is. It's just vibrant and gorgeous, and just I am so blown away. And what's more, is, let me turn off these lights, because they charge up really nicely, but they're still sitting here just glowing. This is with no more black light on them. They are just glowing this much. So here we have, in this area, we have our magenta, which is quite pale. I didn't use a whole lot of the magenta pigment. And also I have the lights off because I want to see how quickly it starts to fade. Here we have our orange, a yellow. This is our blue purple of the Uni-Glow. This is our blue. Oh, now these ones started fading out a different color too. Yeah, I guess I only had one of the blue. I don't know, these guys seem to be a color all their own. And then this is sky blue, I think. This one, these ones are the aqua, and then this one's the green. I really love the green. But, I mean, guys, they're so pretty. You can see they're fading relatively quickly. So I'm going to pop a light back on. Charge them back up. This is just the coolest stuff, though, you guys. Like, this one's probably my favorite. And that is because of I added in a secondary non-glow color. Like, this was cast with the yellow resin. You can see the similarities there. And then I used just a few drops of Scarlet Alcohol Ink, to where it was not very, like 3 drops within like an ounce, a full ounce of resin. Sorry, I'm so blown away by this. And then I poured in the alcohol ink just at the bottom of this mold and then let it spread kind of on its own, and it gave us such a cool gradient effect. So I'm going to try to get some footage of this in regular daylight as well. But guys, I'm just so blown away by how awesomely vibrant, because I don't even really feel like I used a ton of the glow pigment, you know, per resin. I probably could have gone a little bit denser on the magenta, but man, that yellow though, and the blues, just all of it is just, it glows. I'm so happy that it glows. And then also a happy accident, I found out some of my polymer clay pieces for this month's Patreon packages glow as well, which was unexpected, because like this one is actually a gold clay. So I don't know why it's glowing blue. I don't know what I might have added in that's making the gold glow, but that's pretty mind-blowing. So let's go check these out in regular old daylight. So this is how they look just in regular daylight. You can see the magenta looks much more magenta-esque. The orange is pretty cool. I still am really fond of the yellow. These are the aqua. They look a lot more like a typical glow-in-the-dark color. The sky blue here, I guess that helps a little bit. You can kind of match them up a little better. Now this one was blue pigment on the front. So it may have been sky blue pigment on the front. And then I backed it with, it was like a turquoise Pearl-X type pigment, a turquoise mica shift powder. You can see I really like the way that that came out, but it backed it really nicely. And then the blue purple almost looks just milky white. So I'm really interested in doing more experimentation with like swirling in other colors. This is the one, again, that not only do I just love that shape, but I absolutely love the color gradient on this one. And you can see it was just from pouring in a secondary batch of resin without, oops, good thing they're really durable, pouring in a secondary batch of resin without any additional glow pigments. Sorry, words are hard, but man though, you guys, and they're glow in the dark. Yeah, I'm not really making it dark enough that the camera can pick up, but so cool, super cool. I cannot wait to do more experimentation with this and share it with you guys. So again, the pigments that I'm using are Uni-Glow. There will be links to everything down in the video description below so that you can get your own. And that'll be for the molds, for the resin, for the glows, everything. Hey y'all, thanks so much for hanging out with me during this video. I really hope that it was helpful to you. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, please leave them down below. Also, if you enjoy my free tutorials and would like to support the creation of more of them, you can find my social media links as well as my Patreon links down below. And that's on Patreon. We do digital download content, behind the scenes pictures and videos and different things, as well as our monthly craft crates. So that's actually why I'm making these, is for this month's craft crates to get mailed out. So some of y'all lucky folks might get some of the different cabs and things that you see made in my tutorials, but also I send other materials that way you can craft right alongside me, and I don't know, it's kind of fun. But gosh, so I cannot wait to make more of these. Like, I'm having so many ideas about like mixing in, like this one was the glow pigment mixed with alcohol ink. I really want to do some mixed in with like a little bit of the glow, a little bit of the Pearl X powder, and kind of just see what happens. That way y'all can learn from my trials and errors and save your time and save your materials if it doesn't work out. So hopefully it'll work out, but man, I'm super excited. But thanks though, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye.